The internet has made it easier than ever to start a business. Succeeding on the internet, now that's another story. The big question is, what are those who are succeeding doing differently? This podcast has the answers. Welcome to the Marketing Matrix podcast. I'm your host, Lisanne, and I am joined today by the talented and amazing entrepreneur, Mr. Edwitch Paul. Edwitch, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, guys, I want to take a second to introduce this incredible entrepreneur so that he can just blow our minds today, guys. He has an amazing, amazing story to get where he's been. He's beat the odds. He is standing up inside himself and doing some incredible things in his life and in his business. So, Mr. Edwitch Paul is the founder and owner of EP Investments, LLC. He's a husband and father to two beautiful children, a landlord, a house flipper, and an entrepreneur. And if you're watching the video on this, he has some amazing backdrops, some amazing step and repeats. This guy, he is putting himself out there, and we are so excited to just be blown away by him. So, Edwitch, for our listeners that are not as familiar with who you are and what you do and your story, give us the background. Like, how did it all start for you? And how did you get to the point of being a real estate investing tycoon?
I love this question. I love this. This is a great question. So my name is Edwitch. I am the founder of EP Investment LLC. How did I get started? It didn't just start today. It started at the age when I was like literally a teenager. I remember one time I actually was having a conversation because I grew up in the streets of New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I am originally from Haiti. So I remember one time I was actually riding my bike, walking down the street with a good friend of mine, and I saw a corner store. And I said, "Hey, man, I think I want to own a corner store." And my friend and I, we stay getting on each other, cracking stupid teenager jokes and stuff like that. And he said, "Man, you can't even speak English." For those of you who doesn't know where I'm from, I'm actually Haitian. At the time, I just moved from Haiti to the state. So, and jokingly, he said, "Man, you can't even speak the language. You can't even read the language. You can't even write the language. What the hell are you talking about?" But the funny thing is, apparently he didn't believe in me, right? Which is okay because it wasn't his goal, it wasn't his dream, but it was my dream, and I believe in myself. Funny thing is, at that moment, I think I was a little bit hurt. I'm like, "Yo, dude, how you going to say that? Because you don't know my vision, you don't know what I'm actually thinking." So I think I just got quieter a little bit, and then we just went our way, and then we never really talk about business. But there was a little bit spirit in me saying like, "Yo, I'm going to be great one day. I'm going to be great one day." So the funny thing about it, me growing up, I had a lot of up and down where I never actually met my biological father. And at the age of 15, why mother, and the reason I never met my biological father is because he died and passed away while mother was actually pregnant. All right. Then at the age 15, 16, when I first literally kind of moved to the state, my mother passed at an unknown reason. So yeah, man, let me tell you, I was just broken, mentally, physically. I didn't know who I was at the time, but eventually, as years go by, growing up, I met my wonderful girlfriend, which is my wife now. She came from a very positive background, and as we started dating, she just speak life into me. She just say the right thing, and all of a sudden, I start to believe in me, and and then I start listening to Les Brown, and guys like Napoleon Hills. I don't know if you guys heard E.T. The list just go on and on and on. So I mean, he no, he didn't believe in me, but I believe in me, and which is okay. I mean, and today a lot of time, um, I think a lot of time us as a society, as a human being, I think we all have something to say. We all have a dream, but we are too afraid to even speak it because the people around us, they're so negative, right? And a lot of time we because and not only that we have our fear, and now you go and tell somebody your dream and the person didn't even believe in themselves, right? And then you show your dream to them, and they just completely kill your dream completely. So you gotta protect your dream when you have a dream. You have to protect your dream by any means necessary. Yeah. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on.
I love it. I think that's so inspiring. So tell us more about how you got the dream, because you just finished saying that you were in a place where you were broken, and you somehow attracted an amazing woman into your life, and then you magically found these influencers to start speaking into your head. But like, how did the dream actually come?
Great question. I love your question. So Um, as my wife and I actually, we got married, and we purchased our first property home, which I'm actually recording in it right now. Um, and I thought, and I look at the amount of payment over the loan amount of the years that I'm going to be paying. uh, on the interest only, not even the principal, which is the principal is what you actually pay. That's actually the mortgage, the amount of mortgage versus the interest. I look at the principal and the interest that I'm actually will be paying by the time in 30 years loan, and I'm literally paying double the amount of the purchase price. I'm like, oh my God, this bank is actually making a killing. This is crazy. Um, and I talked to my wife and I said, hey, what if I can purchase a house and make a profit out of that? So my wife is not really into the business side, and she's more like into school. She's that, which is okay. She's actually making a difference into her community. But me, I'm more like, hey, listen, I cannot transfer this job to my kids. So with that being said, we decided to purchase our first rental for dirt cheap. I mean, you want the numbers?
Yeah,
Would
let's
you
do
like to
it.
hear the numbers? So I purchased it for like $32,000, right? $32,000, which it wasn't all cash, which I'm actually able to purchase property all cash right now. Thank God for it. So we was able to put a down payment towards the house, the rental property, and I was actually literally making profit. Maybe I'm saying too much, but it's okay. I was literally netting $500 a month, and my payment was just like nothing because I make sure I actually put a lot of money towards that down payment, so that way my payment could have been low. So I mean, it was just a great deal, and to right now, I actually more than one houses and stuff like that, and I had done some flip, and I also done wholesale deals and all that good stuff. And I mean, if you want me to break down what is a wholesale for people who may know, who I may not know what is a wholesale, I could go down into it. I mean, I could tell you all the bad things that happened, because you know what happened is a lot of people love to turn HDTV. They love to see the HDTV homes and stuff like that. But little do they know that the struggle that the entrepreneur actually goes to on a regular. You know, it's just like the HDTV is like what, 30 minutes, 20-minute show. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you just build a house in 20. No, it doesn't. It could take perhaps like, if the deal goes south, it could literally take a whole year, literally, if it goes south. But I mean, technically, if you flipping, a good deal should take you only 90 days or less.
So can you think of an experience in your journey, Edwitch, where things just clicked for you and it made sense about what real estate investing was all about, and you were just like, okay, I am never turning back. Like, this is my path to wealth for my family and my future. Like, can you remember an experience like that?
So the funny thing is, I had really a lot of different experience where I actually feel like this can work and this will work, right? Um, so the funny thing is, I have a crazy imagination, right? I love to dream, right, and put it into turn it into real life and reality. So my thing is, where I actually work at, it's they have $1 million homes, right? And they have this luxury apartment where I normally drive on a daily basis. So when I'm actually driving near the buildings and stuff like that, it's the cleanest. They have flowers and all that stuff. And it goes back to the same thing with a bank idea. It's like, I'm like, with the banking idea and then buying from my first rental deal. It's like, imagine this is about like 100 plus units. And all these people need a place to stay, right? Whether, the economy is doing bad, whether whatever's going on. In fact, right now, at this very moment, right now, we're in the middle of 2020 pandemic, right? People losing their job, everything is going crazy. But guess what? We need a place to stay. So it's just, the idea is, what I love the idea is like, when you sleep, you actually make money while you sleeping. I just love the idea. So I hope that answers your question.
No, I love it. So, can you think of an experience in your journey where you encountered something really difficult, where you thought about turning back and doing something more traditional for work, but for whatever reason you decided to turn back into investing and continue to give it a shot?
So your question was, can I think of anything that, that was just like horrible, and I just wanted to just quit. I didn't want to goes on. And I just like, oh yeah, man. So I had a lot growing up. Honestly, I had a lot of ups and downs. From like my both my biological parents passing away. I mean, a whole nine yard, right? I remember when I first got into the flipping side of business, I was totally new to it, right? And there was this one guy that I trusted. As he stated, he had so much experience. There's a lot of talk out there, right? People say they have experience, but none of that stuff. So I believe them. I didn't really do my due diligence properly on him. Anyways, little did I know the guy was a scam artist, right? And I was literally stuck in the middle of the flip, where I had to come up with all the money out of pocket, and I was literally making the monthly payment to whatever from my other rental that I had. That I was pulling money from my other businesses that I had to just make that hard money blender payment. So, anyways, long story short, the property, as we stated, the property we thought was worth so much more. We end up losing so much money on it. So, and as we continue going, the property could not sell because it was not in a flip area, right? And we actually overpriced the property. Um, Banks start calling, the lenders start calling, and all that crazy stuff, and they're like, "Hey, listen, we need our payments." Man, it was. I was literally, there was time that I was literally mentally depressed, where I'm like, man, all I wanted is just take care of my family, you know. All I just wanted is just do good, and I was so excited in the beginning of that flip, and all of a sudden it's just things just went from like this and just went straight down. And I'm like, can I get a little break here? So anyways, but there was time that I found myself crying. Yes, I cry. All right. I could get a little bit sensitive here. Men cry too. You gotta learn to express yourself, okay? Um, so, but anyways, I didn't let that stop me. All right. I did not let that stop me. Just because one thing happened to you, you can't let that happen. But I ended up losing money on that deal, but it's okay. I made other money, right? Things happen. You just gotta, if you like the song said, we fall down, we get up. You just gotta learn how to, if you fall down, you just gotta catch yourself. You can't just stay there and say, oh my God, and just quit. And some people just quit mentally. They just shut down. No, I'm not that. Like, you just got to keep it pushing through. You just got to keep it moving, man, because you know what? Everything shall pass away. So, and you just got to keep pushing yourself and motivating yourself and all that good stuff.
I love that concept of, like, you've mentioned two things that I think are so important. One, you got to keep getting back up. Like, I love that. This is a cliche quote, but I believe in it, that success is getting up one more time than you've fallen down. It's a powerful, powerful concept, but we have to keep getting up. And the second thing that you mentioned is that money comes and goes. I think sometimes we get too attached to money and we try to hold on to it. But like, I have a firm belief that money is energy. And just like energy comes and goes from us, money does too. And so if we're in a situation where we're in a bad deal, or we made a poor business decision or whatever, like, turn around, put your energy to bringing that money energy back, because it's going to come back. Like, it's one bad decision or a bad investment is not going to ruin you, like, there's always money and energy to be found and to be created. So I love those two messages that you shared right there.
That's the other thing that people just don't understand, I mean, um that's one thing I just don't understand, that how people just shut down and just never recover because of fear of failure. What if that, the funny thing is, I mean, I had I mean, I started working straight out of high school, right? Perhaps at the age of 16, 17. Straight out of high school, I started working, and I remember this guy. I'm not going to say his name. I still remember the guy name. And he wanted to retire, and he could not retire. All right. This is a sad story. And I remember one time he was walking down the hallway. He literally put on himself. Right. That's how old he was. And I think 3 weeks after he retired, he actually died. So you literally work yourself to death. That is crazy. I mean, imagine, right? If we both are business, a man and woman, right? Imagine if we actually work ourselves to death building a business, which to me is fine. But at least I could literally, if I work myself to death, right, building a business, I could literally pass my properties that I own to my kids, whether they want it or not, right? Whether my wife want to deal with my inherited problem. But guess what? It's a good problem to have, because there's equity in these properties, right? Is she like, man, I don't want nothing to do with real estate. I don't want nothing to do with these properties. I'm going to sell all of them. I could guarantee you, right? She would she will live a way better life than somebody who just worked themselves to death for someone else, right? And that's actually the simple difference between entrepreneur and somebody who work a 9 to 5 their whole entire life, which is fine. If you're passionate and love what you do, it's all good, right? Because there's actually people who's actually making a difference. You need doctors, you need lawyers, you need nurses, especially in times like this. You need all these people and stuff like that. I'm not saying anything like that. But at the end of your life, right, if this is not your dream, if this is not your goal, then so the funny thing is, I was listening to Les Brown, right? He said, imagine you were on your deathbed and you had so much dreams, and while you're dying, your dreams actually said, my God, you could have given us life, but you choose not to give us life, right? And because of you, we are dying. And so that's for, I'm speaking to those people who have dreams and goal and who just let the dream die. Like, dude, everybody's special, right? We all unique in a different way, but whether we believe it or not, right? So it's just like, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, just go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? Like, you have one life. I mean, Jim Rohn said you would be lucky to make it out alive. You're not
That's
gonna make it
awesome.
out of this earth alive. So go for your dream.
I love it. I love it. It's
Yeah.
such a powerful message. And maybe what you just said might answer my next question. But my next question is, if you could go back and talk to 16-year-old Edwitch, what would you say to him?
Great question. I love that. I would say someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality, right? Because I remember growing up, I used to hear words like that. You will never amount something in your life, right? Because I could say I mean, till now, I still have a mouth on me. I could say, I know what to say to somebody to just get your attention, right? So, and maybe some of these words I did deserve it, right? But if I would go back to 16-year-old me, I would say, just because someone that will have an opinion of you, it doesn't have to become your reality. You are worthy. You are more than what you are. I would say, believe in yourself, dude. Believe in yourself. Just stay focused. Stop hanging out with these uh people that didn't believe in you, and not to mention they believe in themselves.
That's
Yeah.
great. I love that. That's powerful, powerful advice. Okay, so let's hop over to your business for just a second. So can you describe a bit about your business? What type of real estate investing are you into? What are the different elements of your business?
Great question. I just love these questions so far you've been asking. I love that. So, my company is, the name of it is EP Investment LLC. We are a real estate investment firm. So our focus is wholesaling, rental, and also flip, right? So my side of the business is, I'm more like on the rental side. I also have team members who's more focused on the wholesaling side, because you can't do everything yourself, right? I'm probably not the person to talk about the wholesaling, but I know a thing or two about it, right? So that's what we actually focus on. We focus on helping homeowners with all type of situation, whether they're dealing with foreclosure, they're living out of state, whether and they inherited the property from a loved one, like I had mentioned earlier, which is actually a win when you actually inherited a property from a loved one. Yeah, so we focus on those three major things.
Awesome. Okay. So, in one of my past business adventures, I was a wholesaler. So I understand that piece of it, and it is way harder than people will make it out to be. Wholesaling is not, well, no real estate investing is easy or a walk in the park, but wholesaling in particular is tough. So let's talk about the marketing of your business. Like how do you find these leads of these homes, because I mean, you have to find people at the right time, you know, like right as like an elderly parent dies and the children inherits the home, and then what do they do with it? Like that's like the perfect time to step in. Or when a natural disaster happens to a house and they have to get rid of the house, and it's a perfect opportunity for a house flipper to come in and refurb the house and then resell it. Like how do you work your lead gen for your business?
I love this question. So for all the questions you've been asking, I'm like falling in love with them. So one of our first thing we actually do with my partner and I on the wholesaling side, we love a raindrop, right? So I mean not raindrop, ringless, voicemail, like just record a voicemail professionally on my microphone, over my computer, and just blast it out to the potential seller who might be interested in selling. You know, this message, I feel like to me, it just key. You can't everybody have one of these things in their hand, and if you don't have that in your hand, you definitely have a house phone. So, I mean, I also like direct marketing, but I'm going to get into that. But one thing I do like about the voicemail is like whether you have a cell phone, whether you have a house phone, a office phone, you're going to pick up that phone within a day or two to listen to your voicemail, right? And that's what I love about it, okay? And the next thing is we actually love virtual assistant, right? So we virtual assistant, aka VA, we love using VA because I don't have the time to do the 300 calls. I really don't have that. In fact, I hate cold calling. I don't like cold calling. It sucks. So why not have someone else to do the job for you, right? And still your business still women focused, right? So another thing is we also love direct marketing because, and the way we actually do our direct marketing, we put it on a very, very 4x4 beautiful, colorful envelope. Like it's actually a gift card from Macy's, right? Not them white envelope, which is fine. I mean, if that's what you choose to do, that's just fine. You got to start somewhere. But I just love using those very beautiful, brightful colors to do my direct marketing because everybody expect a gift, right? Nobody wants to open a mail that look like, hey, this is the collection agency that's actually trying to reach you or whatever. But I guarantee you, if it's actually in one of those beautiful, bright, full color envelopes, you're going to open it. I wonder what it is in there. So yeah, that's what we focus on.
I love it. Okay, so you are cold calling people, and so you're obtaining those lists, and you're sending direct mail to people, and those are your two primary methods of lead gen.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I, you think you are the expert in Facebook marketing. Perhaps I might need a thing or two from you because I have tried Facebook marketing, and honestly, I did see a couple clicks and stuff like that, but maybe I was using the wrong kind of wording. I think most people do that. It wasn't really, to be honest, it wasn't really my working out for me.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and social media is so powerful. I mean, if anyone who's listened to me for even one or two episodes, they'll know that I just rave about Facebook advertising. But this isn't about my business. This is about yours. So, coming back to what you are doing with marketing in your business. So, just yesterday on my Facebook profile, I did a live all about the importance of knowing your numbers and understanding the numbers in your business, because it's the numbers that drive growth, and it's the numbers that take the emotion out of decisions in your business. So talk to me, like, how important is it to understand the numbers in your business in order to have success? Like, I'm sure you have it pretty dialed in terms of how many cold calls will lead to appointments and how many appointments will lead to an eventual close, or how many mailers you need to send out to get so many leads and how many of those leads will turn into customers. Like, talk to me about how important numbers are in your business.
I love this question again. So the way we actually do it, the way we break our numbers down, I'm just going to give you a random numbers, right? So let's just say I pull a list of out-of-state owners. I don't just send out the blast out the voicemail drop, right? I don't just do the mail-in marketing, right? So what I do is, after I do there's a step to it. After I would do the voicemail drop, and depending on the response, whether I get a response or not, if I don't get a response, I would actually remove these people from my listing and stuff like that of marketing, because apparently either the numbers is not working or they blocking, whatever the reason may not be. So secondly, what I actually do, so my virtual assistant is always there in between those two, because they're the one that gotta make the calls, right? So then, if that doesn't work, I actually start doing the marketing. So for the direct marketing, for example, let's say if I send out 1,000 rank drop, and also by the time that I break down that list, apparently that I can't get in contact with that number, my VA cannot get in contact with that person, then I will remove them from the list. Then I will start doing that marketing. But this time I'm probably down at, like, let's say 500, right? From that 500 of that, I think that's still potential good. I then after a couple respond, I'll send my mail like 7 times. Then after that, if it doesn't work, I pull another list. So what I'm saying is, from that, you may get, I'm just saying, from that 1,000, from that listing you pull out, you may get just 5 people, right? Just 5 people from and sometimes you may not even get a single. Sometimes you pull it from whatever source you pull it at, it may be a very bad pulling, you know that. So, and you could left out from just one, right? And that one that you actually looking for, you're looking for that one that is very, very motivated. You don't want to just, I mean, some people actually is motivated, but you don't want to just one that, I'm thinking about selling, right? Okay, how much would you like for your property, ma'am, sir? I want $1 million. Yeah, literally, they would actually say things like that. So you just want that one you actually can help, right? Remember that you're not in the business to take advantage of people. You're here to help them out. If they don't want no help, you just keep it moving. All right. You want that extra motivated seller. The seller say, hey, the seller that, like, I need to sell right now. You know, and then there's different motivated sellers. Like, there's sellers who say, okay, well, I'm thinking about, like, this is actually seller I'm actually dealing with right now. Thinking like, hey, why don't you call me in 90 days, and I have to put them on my calendar so I can follow up with them. So it all depends. Sometimes you might get 2 motivated sellers a month. Sometimes you might get 0. Sometimes you might get 1. You're looking for that 1.
I love it. Well, and the benefit with real estate is when you do get that 1, the opportunity is so large, because when you're dealing with real estate, the numbers are big, that it compensates for the time that it takes to find those. But I want to pull out a really important point, guys, because this is the marketing matrix. The strategies and tactics that Edwitch is talking about are marketing is marketing. Okay, whether you do it with voice drops and emails, whether you do it with direct mailers, whether you do it with Facebook ads, marketing is marketing. You have to get a list of people that have a potential to work with you and buy from you. And you hit that list a number of times. In Facebook, we call it retargeting, right? But you retarget those people and you hit them again and again and again until it funnels people down to the few people that are the buyers of your products and are interested. And everyone else, it's like if it's not time for them or they're not interested, then that's totally fine. But the game of marketing is finding the target group of people and hitting them again and again until the few leads that you need to be successful in your business come out of the bottom. And you're using different tactics to continue to narrow that list and get it to be more and more refined so that you end up at the bottom with these refined golden leads that make all the difference in the world in your business.
That one, you're looking for that one specifically, because you could talk to a million sellers. Doesn't mean they're gonna sell to you. All you know is just one. What happened is a lot of people, when they just they make that call, like myself, right? Like I had said, when I said I hate cold calling, it doesn't mean that I don't do it, right? I know I have to get it done in order for it to be done, right? So if you cannot afford, because these things could get very expensive, right? So if you cannot afford a virtual assistant, get on the phone. Spend 1 hour on the phones. Make like 30 calls a day. All you need is give yourself like an hour. I'm pretty sure you spend at least 5 hours a day on those little gadget. And in fact, you could use that little gadget to do the ring drop too. Like if you don't want to talk to sellers, have them call you instead of you calling them if you're not comfortable. Now, you still have to be comfortable and prepare yourself to answer that phone when it starts ringing, because it will start ringing, right? So you can't be scared. You gotta talk to them. And a lot of time, they just looking for help. These people out there looking for help, but we are too scared to help them out, right? Because we just what if? Oh my God! I remember this one time when I first started, the guy just cursed me out. I was like, oh my God! So imagine you're not really used to that, and the person start dropping the F-bomb. Stop calling my phone. I'm going, all that sweat, because a lot of these people already under stress. So you gotta find a way to help them out. That is your job. Things don't just come to you. You gotta go get it.
I love it. That's so powerful. Okay, so I've got two more questions for you. So the first is, what small marketing strategy or tactic has made the biggest difference in your business and why? And it could be one of the ones you've already mentioned or something different.
So marketing, to me, is just what make that a big difference. I think connecting with people, by letting people know who you are. For example, just me having this conversation with you, it's marketing, right? For example, the fact that we actually connected, and perhaps in the future we could do some type of business deal. Me just starting a conversation. A lot of times people think this thing, the marketing, it's so difficult. No, all you gotta do, just talking to people. Tell people that what you do for a living, whether you still work your 9 to 5, right? Let people know what you do, even at your job, saying, hey, I remember when I first started real estate, right? I told the person, I'm a real estate investor. They're like, you're not a real estate investor. You don't own no property. It's okay. You're going to meet these people, but it doesn't matter. Start telling people what you do, right? Start going to those networking events. Now, things will be shut down. Virtual, like we actually doing, online. Just get out there, tell people what you do. So what I'm saying is, because of me, I'm very friendly, I'm very talkative. I talk to people that I feel like that's like-minded, people that want to do business with me. That make a big difference, connecting with the right individual.
I love it. I love it. That's so powerful and so true. So true. I mean, any success in life, whether it's in business or personal, it's about the connections and the relationships that you make. That's so great.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what is the, I always ask my guests this question. What is the biggest internal transformation that's happened for you on this entrepreneurial journey?
Man, the biggest, that's a great question. I think it's just like, so I think it's just like accepting myself, accepting for things for what it is, even though it's not easy. So when I came to the business, especially as a wholesaler, people say, "Hey, you could connect the homeowner and the seller. You can charge them a fee and make that money." And I was like, "Oh, that is so easy. I could do it." Later, that I found out, it's just like, no, that is very difficult, right? So I had to accept that it is not easy. You got to constantly grind, and people are just not gonna hand you over things. You just gotta go get it. You just gotta, mentally. I had to grow. I had to sharpen my mind, and then each morning, I I have to some type of listen to some type of positive uh, word, So, and that, because what happened is, especially today, you you just, there's always bad news all over the media, politics. It's almost everywhere. So much negativity. So you gotta keep your mind sharp. So with me, that's what I do find, keeping myself positive, and I had to continue. It's not an everyday. It's actually an everyday thing. It's not just like, okay, I'm just gonna be positive for this day. So you gotta keep yourself mentally, physically, emotionally sharp, so you could continue growing. Oh wow, it's just like, once you touch your phone, you turn the TV on, you turn the computer on, the word's just gonna bring you down. So to me, that's just the biggest thing, just keeping myself up, up, on the air. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So, Edwidge, for people that want to follow your journey or get in touch with you, learn about you, where can they find you online?
Great question again. So my company name is EP Investment LLC. You could go on my company website at pahomecashbuyers.com. If you happen to have a home that you want to sell, you could go there and submit the deal. You could literally reach out to me there. You could go on LinkedIn. For sure, you could go on Facebook and also on IG. You could definitely reach me. I don't know if it's appropriate to give my number. Is that, you okay with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I mean, we'll drop all the information in the episode notes, but you can give anything you would like here.
Yeah, so you could reach me at this phone number. I barely enter it now. I do have a better tracking number, which is 267-209-0041. Again, it's 267-209-0041. You could definitely reach me from that one right there.
I love it. Well, Edwidge, thank you so much. We've got Mr. Edwitch Paul here today on the Marketing Matrix. He is a man with big dreams and bigger action. We are so grateful to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing your heart, your story, your value, your experience. It has just been a joy having you on the show today. Thank you so much for
Man,
coming.
it's been a pleasure. That was actually fun. Thank you for having me.